I think sometime towards the finale of the story of One Piece, there will be a conflict between two factions. The first faction will be the ones who prefer the current structure of the world, like the celestial dragons at the top, and the other will be the ones who would want to abolish it. Now, I cannot really say what specific ideology this second faction would have, other than longing for freedom. This would directly oppose any universal powerful body that is above anyone else. This also means nearly all pirates would be in the second faction by default. However, I believe that it is likely some Marines will also be involved in that second faction. Throughout this story, we have seen some Marines being very uncomfortable with how the government runs things. Smoker being the primary example. We already know he took an unconventional route in Alabasta, and in Marineford he said that there was something wrong with the definitions that the Marines use for justice and evil. While on the same battleground, Akainu said that all pirates are basically the personification of evil. When Kobe went on to stop Akainu from senselessly killing pirates and risking the life of Marine soldiers, Akainu was about to kill him because he was not righteous. When the truth of the world comes out, in other words, when Luffy finds One Piece and becomes the king of the pirates, different Marines will take on the information differently. Some would want to hide it and maintain the status quo, and some would want to change it. I believe that Marines like Kobe, Smoker, Garp, Fujitora, and even Aokiji would be on the side that wants to shake things up. Marines like Akainu, Doberman would be the kind to maintain the status quo. If Smoker, Fujitora, and the rest of the gang go all out in rebellion against the government, and by default the Marines, they will be kicked out and would be left with little to no manpower. This is where I feel like alliances like that of Luffy and Kobe come into play. I think this faction of Marines will basically ally with pirates to end the tyranny of the world government and form a new brand of Marines. This is the endgame. We were revealed the existence of swords in chapter 956. We need to see a little bit more about swords, but it is possible that the rise of Marine rebellion against the establishment originates from sword. Already we are seeing signs that some Marine members are uncomfortable with how government deals with things. For example, X-Drake expressed his shock to see CP0 in Wano and was disappointed, thinking that the world government might actually be making deals with the leadership in Wano, who are all basically pirates. Eventually, I believe that people like Drake would see the fault lines in the government and realize that the actual poison lies with the government led by celestial dragons, and thus Revolt. Now this raises a question like, how does the world look like after this revolt, and assuming it's successful? I cannot really say. It's hard to imagine the new Marines being comfortable with pirates, and rightfully so, because, well, most pirates are not like Luffy. Does another system like warlords arise, or do we get a new set of Yonkos? Whatever happens, I'm basically putting my trust in Oda to execute it perfectly, and I know he will. But for now, I can be 100% certain that the Marines will not come out of this conflict unchanged. They will have new codes and philosophies to abide by, which looks very similar to the philosophies of people like Aokiji, Smoker, Fujitora, Garp, and people like that. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I'm sure every committed One Piece fan has something to say about this. Let it all out here and let's discuss.